So RAG is a many tens of billions of dollar industry. People are also talking a lot about fine tuning and context engineering. What do AIPMs need to know about those?
Awesome. Well, I'm going to talk about context engineering. All right. And context engineering for me is the most important thing that an AI PM should know. Usually, what we do is that, when you're trying to talk to an LLM, we have a system prompt and we have a user prompt. Correct? These are the two things that we have available to us, or we basically use them for our LLM to respond to us in the way we would like it to, respond. However, let's just say, Akash, I want to make it personalized to you and personalized to me. So let's say we have a finance agent which is listening to your conversation, and you're like, you know what? I only want to invest in S&P 500. I want to do safe trading. I want to do things that which have historically been they have gone up and they are safe bets. So we want to say Akash wants to go after S&P 500, right? And now let's just say I'm another person. I'm like, I'm very frivolous, and I'm like, I'm gonna go into crypto, right? I'm like, you know what? I don't make any money. Ever since I could Google, you realize how less money you make. Right? So I'm gonna, do or die, or like all in. So how do we make sure that you are getting the right information, like you are getting the right information, and I'm getting the right information that is relevant to me? And that's where context engineering plays a role. So here, what we do is that we have a system user prompt and a user prompt. Then what we can do is we add memory, which are your past interactions and things that the LLM has learned about you and stored. So we call this the long-term memory. This is also a prompt. And then we get information, relevant information from the RAG. So you just saw the RAG, right? You just saw that the RAG was able to pull context, and you were able to get an answer. That's your RAG connector right there. So when you combine all these things, that's your context engineering.
Got
So
it.
prompt engineering is what you tell an LLM. Context engineering is how you design the instructions for your LLM. And that's the beauty of having the knowledge of context engineering, because it then makes your entire ecosystem dance. You can get personalization, you can get specific answers to what you are looking for, and it understands each users based on that information, right? So context engineering is extremely important, more important than prompt engineering now, because you have to combine multiple levels of things at the same time, get to that answer in today's world, right? So that's what we have context engineering for. The second thing that you have mentioned is fine
Yep.
tuning. So you see, fine tuning is all about task adaptation. So usually when you have a LLM, the LLM can produce, you give it a prompt, and for every prompt, there's a response. However, you want to say, hey, you know what? I don't want this prompt, this LLM to produce general responses. I want the LLM to only produce Python code and the best practice Python code. So that's when you fine tune an LLM on best practices of coding, so it becomes a coding agent or a coding LLM, right? So fine tuning, again, I want to say, is task adaptation, in which you're basically telling the LLM, this is how I want you to respond, and this is the context behind it. These are 10,000 examples or 100,000 examples of what greatness looks like over there.
And once you give it all those examples, it can really customize to that specific use case and become that specified
Exactly.
LLM.
Yeah. Another example is that you work, let's say you work for a pharma company, and you want the LLM to remember the vocabulary about your things, about the different acronyms you have, and different products that you have built. That's where you fine tune for understand for vocabulary. I want to say vocabulary and not knowledge.
I hope you enjoyed that short clip. You can check out the full episode here.